And we are live. Hello, everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
Bonjour, hi.
My camera's over here now. If I start talking and like this, it's because my camera's usually there, and I've moved it here so that I can just easier. Anyways, because this is where you guys are. So, anyways, hi everybody. It's Jeff and the gang. Here for another awesome episode. We've already got 2 people in chat, although that might be one of you guys. I don't know.
It's me.
Okay.
I'm in the chat.
All right, that's cool. So we got one person in chat. Oh wait, Rick might be too.
I think I've got it started. Just
we got 3 now. So unless Dusko or Dave got into chat.
Do I have to like download StreamYard or like log into StreamYard to be able to comment in the?
No. Only I at the moment. Only I am able to comment in the StreamYard thing. Everybody else has to do it in like the YouTube chat. But what I do is, if you right click at the top of the chat window, you can pop out the chat, and then you can close the stream.
Yes. So
you can just have the chat window open, and you can still converse, and then you don't have to use up extra screen space as well.
Plus it doesn't show a viewer when it's just me.
Well, yeah, and sometimes you get distracted by seeing yourself like 10 seconds later, or
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, hi guys. We're going to be covering some stuff today. Something to do with keys, and something to do with sorting, and something to do with Dave. You choose which one. I don't know. I'm just making that up.
Well, the other day.
2 out of 5.
That Dave. But we will start with Dave. Which one should we start with? Left or right?
Oh, nicely done, Jeff.
All right, we'll start with this one. How's it going, Dave?
I'm just sorting that lot that I got last week of all the old 1970s and early 80s Legos. So I'm pretty happy about that. Finding, what some people call common pieces, but I just like the old Legos. So old Legos, cool Legos. Somebody should coin that phrase and make a YouTube video. Other than that, I haven't done much. It's all sorting and rediscovering my youth. So that's what I've been doing all week when I have time to be in the Lego room. So
rediscovering your youth. Oh, so you're updating your building skills.
Well, basically, yeah. And because as I said,
welcome to the year 2000, David.
I'm going through these instructions, and they basically you have to put 1,700 parts per
Hello, Chantel.
And they don't have any. And they don't have any like this is the pieces you need for this step. So it's actually the old instructions, even though with basic pieces, a little harder to follow along. Oh, here's a step, 2 pieces, or here's a step, 1 piece, and this is where it goes. They don't do that.
Yeah, it definitely is more skillful, but I was more playing on the building techniques.
Well, as you can
although
see,
they do have building techniques that aren't legal now.
So there's this thing, and basically it's basic brick from down here all the way to the top, and there's not one snot.
That's not true.
Bricks on top of bricks all the way up. That's all it is.
Are you sure?
This is 19. Oh, there's no snot in this at all. None. Absolutely none.
Challenge accepted. I feel like I should be looking at it and making sure.
I'll tip this to somebody and they can revamp it with all the latest techniques. But this is 1970s building style. Well, I did use some hinge plate to make these nice circles. But I can't even do this. It's like everything's opposite. It's like you think you're looking in the mirror, but you're not because it's. Anyway.
It'd almost be harder not using snot pieces because you have to go straight up.
And it's just the way it evolved. I don't know how many stupid videos about how I built that thing, and it evolved over 10 years. I started it well before Brickfet. One back in 2011. I think I started that in 2008. Jeff and I were doing space layouts since 2005 or 6.
Space.
And I started that building. It was only like this tall, like 2 stories tall, and it had a lot of trans yellow in it, which was like what we were supposed to do, put trans yellow in the space station. And then just over 10 years, it evolved into that. But basically, it is my 1970s building technique, which is just putting bricks on top of bricks all the way up. So.
But Technic building is done vertically as well, because you do have supports going upward, right?
No.
You don't have 1x4 bricks, Technic bricks holding together the columns.
Oh, okay. Yeah. when we used to do RTL competitions, we coined this phrase. It's brick, plate, plate, brick, because when you're sandwiching your Technic builds together, you have a Technic brick, and you have two plates and a Technic brick, and you put a 1x4 to hold them together. So you can build a robot that doesn't fall apart in the arena. And very few people excelled at making sure their robots didn't fall apart in a robot competition. Yeah, so there are some vertical bricks, very few, just to hold, because yes, to get the landing pads that far out, I had to use Technic bricks all the way through to stop it from wobbling down. So
what happened to me?
There are some unique, well, not unique, there are some cool building techniques in there, but not the coolest that people do these days. So it works, and I'm happy with it. That's all that mattered to me. And I'm thinking about, if there's another good weekend in June, I might do another show in my driveway, what I did last year, and live stream it again. Because I had such a good time with that last year, and then lighting it up at night. It was like utterly the first time I actually got to see it all lit up at night. So, in my front driveway, and then I'm taking it down at like 11 o'clock and trying to be quiet and not wake up the neighbors. But I might do that.
Cool. All right. Cool. Awesome. Can't wait for that, Dave. Maybe we'll come and visit you.
Thanks, Daddy.
All right, let's go to the second Dave. These are the Daves I know.
Oh my goodness.
What? Well, I haven't built anything this week. Mostly I've done gardening, actually, because yeah, you gotta grow some vegetables sometimes. Yep. So that's basically what I did, and didn't touch my Lego. I did receive a few orders. Got this thing over here. Woo!
That's a good order.
15% off, actually, the original price. That wasn't so bad. Got a few orders in. But basically, I wanted to talk about my friend Jonathan Bussière, who's the man behind, actually, the two men was behind Cinébrick. And he's actually the man behind Bricomanie. That's why I'm wearing the old shirt with it's the old logo, by the way. If Lego is watching, it's the old logo. We're not using the head anymore. But I wanted to think about Jonathan because actually it's kind of sad news because he's fighting actually a losing battle against cancer right now. Aww. You can see it on the stream. That's him on the right, with his father in the middle and his older brother one of his older brother on the left. Jonathan is fighting a losing battle against cancer right now, and our thoughts and prayers are with him. But the good news in all of this is that with his big heart, he's still thinking about the Lego community, because I've learned officially this week that he has plans for his work to go on, even though he thinks he's going to pass. He's not going to pass 2021. So he actually has made plans with his brother so that the Bricomanie can continue, and going to have two workshops called Les Ateliers Bricomaniacs. That's actually a workshop for young kids to play with Lego, to discover playing with Lego. And the basic principle is that they only play with basic bricks. So the 1x1, the 1x2s, 2x2s, 2x4. So that they have building challenge. They learned how to build things and build their confidence, and it's a great workshop for kids. He used to do it himself in Saint-Basile-le-Grand. Now the plan is that two persons will take over, and one workshop will be in Rougemont, and one workshop will be on the North Shore of Montreal. So, and he already assigned people to, and I'm part of the committees that's going to continue Bricomanie. So the good news is, his work will continue, even though he's not there, but we'll surely miss him when he's gone. And we wish him all the best.
It's not great when that happens, but
and he's such a great guy. When you meet him in person, he used to work with young kids at houses for you used to work with young teenagers when they have problems, and he's just always giving, and to that for him to happen to him, it really broke my heart when I learned he had this, because he's so young. He's younger than me actually, and there's nothing we can do about it. So
yeah. Well, our hearts go out to him and his family, for sure.
Definitely.
So you were gardening as well, you were saying? I don't know where to have to transition from that. I'm sorry.
What did you plant today, Dave?
There you go.
What plants today?
What did?
Oh, what did I have 3 tomatoes, and I've got 3 peppers, soft peppers, and 6 small tomatoes. They're like cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, wait.
And I got 3 plants of cucumber, 3 different kinds of cucumber. So
no zucchini.
No zucchini. I used to do your zucchini, but I changed my plan because a few years back my brother gave me this big house with the swings, and I had to put it in the backyard, but the only place available was in my garden where my gardens used to be. So I put the house there and the swings there. So this year I bought actually gardening boxes.
Yeah.
And so it's a little smaller garden, but
because cucumbers and zucchinis take up a lot of room in the garden.
Yeah. And zucchini, they grow like weeds, man.
Yeah, they just like the 20 square feet of grass space is gone because you're mowing around zucchini.
You want gardening, and you want to have success. Just plant zucchinis and.
Well, zucchinis. My dad actually stopped growing carrots because you can go to the store and buy a huge bag of carrots for $1.50. He says, "Why am I wasting my garden space growing carrots?"
I did try carrots a few times, but they never grown in my garden.
Well, we had huge carrots. We had absolutely monstrous carrots, and I would just go out there and plant my lawn chair with the tomatoes on one side of me and the carrots on the other side. Just like read my Hardy Boys book and just eat carrots and tomatoes all afternoon. It was great. Just polish off the little dirt and just eat it raw. Yeah. It was great. Right, and we had the rhubarb behind me, and I still to this day love rhubarb, raw rhubarb right out of the garden while I'm cutting the grass. Oh, I adore rhubarb. I'm a huge fan. So
you eat them with sugar or just plain rhubarb?
It's right. The leaf's still on it. Just eat the rhubarb. I'm pushing the lawnmower. Fast. Don't eat the leaves though. The leaves are poisonous. That's rule number 1. Leaves are poisonous. Do not eat rhubarb leaves.
All right.
Just out of curiosity, are you guys seeing static on my screen? On
yes.
My image?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm getting a little bit of cutouts too. Like my computer's fan is going crazy. So, but memory-wise, I'm only at 60% CPU. So I don't know what's going on. But if something happens, keep on going.
We'll keep going.
That's all right. I've
right.
also had some technical issues. My camera won't connect, which is why you've seen like 3 little dots on my screen. It's trying to connect and it's struggling.
We actually see your Ninjago image or your image of the character.
Yeah.
So.
We like that image.
Yeah.
I switched it.
All right. Let's go over to Dusko, since he's next on the list.
Basically, I finished washing that huge pile I bought a couple of weeks ago. Now,
That was a cool set. That was a cool lot.
and everything is sorted by color, and soon I will start trying to assemble some sets. The other major thing that's happening, I finally got my boxes for minifigures.
Cool.
Nice.
Oh, those are display cases?
Sorry?
Are they display cases?
Yes. This
Okay, cool.
is for collectible minifigures.
Okay.
So they can fit, I think, 19 minifigures per line. There is 4 lines in it. Just
Cool.
need to figure
That's
out
cool.
where
That's
I'm going to put them. And that's it for this week. Nothing special.
Okay. And I just have to click on this because it's funny. That's what Dave's sharing right now. I think that's just his desktop, but I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's my sorting method.
Yeah.
You want to talk about sorting?
White.
Okay, yeah, that's right. We're talking about sorting later. All right. Well, let's get to that in a minute. First, we'll talk to Rick. See how he's doing.
Freeze frame.
Jeff, you froze Rick.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. I've had pretty uneventful week. I did have some fun on Saturday night with Brett Hooper on a live stream on Instagram that went into the wee hours, and I think Chantel dropped in at late in the show and stayed with us to the end, so that was fun. But I built a number of sets on that stream. But probably the most fun one that I built was, and I didn't really do it on the stream, but I built a Jurassic Park set. I think I showed the box last week, and I just dropped the dinosaur. But here's the little vehicle that it comes with, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and it has a lot of blue.
I like these tires. They're like they're like hollow, so they kind of act as suspension. And it came with a couple of cool dinosaurs, and here's one of them. The other one's on the floor now, but this guy's pretty cool.
Does the head come off like a standard dinosaur? Yeah, so I think it's just using the standard raptor body, right?
Yeah, you just send the head.
Yeah, and it's got a cool print.
Yeah,
and the tail is rubber.
Oh, that's cool.
The tail is connected to the body, or is the tail actually?
Tail is like permanently connected.
Okay.
Like molded into the body. Yeah.
Then why did you pull it? Just to prove it?
Well, I had to make sure that, as you can see.
Fine. You know what I just realized? I just realized there's not a Canadian flag blocking my face.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm changing it, and I should just turn that on now. We'll put it down there.
Canadian brick builder.
Hey, all right.
For now, at least. I don't know.
I like it. It's good.
Yeah, there we go. Speaking of which, we actually have a contest to talk about later on today, too, which I just realized I didn't pull the image up, so I'm going to quickly do that as Chantel talks. See, you like that?
Yep, you just get a look
Segue.
at my old logo. I'm actually planning on redoing it because it was just like a quick thing that I made years ago, and I just never changed it. I was going to show you some mocks I'm working on, which is including a dog, but it doesn't really help that you can't see it because I don't have a camera.
Describe it.
In details.
In detail.
How many
descriptive video?
Oh, apparently just connected. So, just in time, it just connected. Okay.
Cool.
We'll see if we can make this work.
All right.
We'll see if she appears.
So, Jeff, I'm pretending tonight that you're transmitting from a space station somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we have camera.
There she is.
This is the dog.
Cool.
It's a little bit colorful for now, but my friend, it's her birthday coming up, so I decided this year for people's birthdays, instead of like giving them something, making them custom little sets.
I like
it. That's nice. That's a good, nice gesture.
And I also was working on a Timbit off of like the cartoon character that they have on the boxes. I tried to put it back together because it broke.
Cool.
I haven't seen that Timbit character in forever.
They have them on the cereal boxes now.
Okay. Well,
the Timbit cereal stuff.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons cereal.
Hey.
Timbit cereal.
It's not about Timbit. It's just like cheese. I don't know what it is. It's just like those puffball things with Timbit logo on it.
The commercial's cute. Mom, don't talk to me until I have my Tim. Little girl's saying to her mom. She's like all 13. Don't talk to me until I get my Tims in the morning.
So, for the record, we'll swing back to Tim's later on. I won't say why, but we will.
That's part of our competition there, Jeffy.
Dave.
That's like Fight Club. Okay, we can't talk about it. Go
ahead,
and show's over. Have a good night, everybody.
That was the Dave I knew I knew. That was the Dave I knew.
That was the Dave I knew.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Hold it a bit closer. There we go. That's cool.
It's just like a spear with little sprinkles.
We can't hear your audio. No, your audio back. You were cutting out for a second, or was that just me?
I heard.
Okay,
Jeff,
that was just me. Great.
Jeff,
Now I'm
are you
having
there?
audio drops.
We've had some bad internet for the last few days, so it's probably our side.
You see the space station craziness on my screen right
Yeah.
now. It's probably.
I love it.
It's awesome. It matches the theme.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump over to me for a second here, and maybe I'll actually talk since Dave started the whole conversation there. Maybe I'll just get him. Then maybe we'll just jump into that. Oh,
Oh, it
I
looks
just saw
great.
myself.
You look like Howard Ball.
I'm turning into something. Yeah. Anyway.
Jeff is turning into Max Headroom.
Oh, I'm trying to open the image too, and it's
I
just
think I
pathetic.
fixed the audio, by the way. The problem was that it was picking up on the phone as well.
Oh yeah.
There, fixed.
Sorry, I'm just trying to open a picture here. Open with photos. There we go. Okay. And of course, it opened it on the wrong screen. All right. So, first, I'll just talk about what's been happening in my world, which is nothing. No, I'm just joking. Let's see. See if this will work. Maybe this camera angle will be better. I have been working on my space hanger, and my mouse is going crazy now too. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's see if this works. There we go. So I've been doing some work. We had a little impromptu stream on Sunday night. You know what? This is probably just easier to do this way. So I've been kind of working on the wall or the roof design or the wall design here.
I like the contrast, Jeff. That's the
white and yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah, especially the white and the dark gray.
Yeah. So using these pieces for the angles to get the angle in. They also exist in the door, and whoops, I just broke that wall. We'll ignore that. If you guys remember, oh my God, I apologize for my crappy computer today. If you guys remember in the past, or from my Instagram feed, I used those to build a corridor.
That's so cool. I love
and that
the
corridor-
lighting.
That's really nice.
That for the record, the blinking lighting is not my computer. It's actually the lighting. But that corridor was the inspiration to build this, and I originally built it. I originally built it a lot bigger, and then realized I wanted it to go on one of my shelves. So I resized it. Anyway, I just noticed. Ground control to measure. Yeah, that's about right. So yeah, there's that. Also today, and I haven't even opened the bag yet. Our good company friend, the Lego company, sent me a bag. Ordered May 27th, just shipped June 2nd, arrived today. So 5 days shipping, 5 days order on turnaround if we don't include weekends.
Wow.
So it Bricks and Pieces has become efficient again.
They are getting better.
Yeah, now I don't know because June 1st dropped and probably a lot of people ordered parts from the new sets.
Yeah.
There is maybe another delay on that. But not really sure if that's the case, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, I mentioned that we might have something going on. We have a contest that is coming up. Actually,
Yay, contest!
Starting today for all 3 people that are watching. Okay, wait, how many of you guys are streaming? How many of you guys are on chat? Anyway, well, whoever's watching this later, I'm going to pass this picture out to the group of people here and ask them to post it on their Instas and stuff as well, or their social media, so that we can push it out and get more people involved. Let me just switch over to the right screen. I don't want it with me, though. I just want this screen. There we go. Okay. And I should have made this full screen, but you know what? Lazy. So, as some of you may know, in a few weeks is Canada Day, and about 3 weeks and a day from now, Thursday, July 1st is Canada Day. So we are, I'm having a contest, and we're having a contest, where we would like anybody on the internet, anywhere in the world, to build something Canadian, or come up with, or tell us what you guys think is Canadian. What's your impression of Canadian? If you live outside, if you live in the States, you know, if you live in Ireland, he's not here today.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, whatever, wherever you live. Hopefully, you'll see the stream. I'll get some details written up for this as well in text to put underneath. But basically, I've got a small prize pack. It's a series of four poly bags. Free shipping wherever you are. There may be more prizes added later. I have a couple ideas in my head for some extra stuff. And as I mentioned, Tim Hortons. See, Dave? He blew it twice.
Tim.
I saw.
He blew it twice. So,
I think Chantel's already got you beat there, though.
This is true. But yeah, anyway. I told you it would come back to Tim Hortons. Basically, create an image, build something digitally, however you build. Do so, post it on your socials. Maybe we'll do a hashtag of, I don't know, Canada Brick Builders or O Canada. We'll figure that out. We'll put it in the rules because I haven't gotten that far because work. And the only requirement is that you send an email to canadabrickbuilders@gmail.com with some information on, or with a link to your image so that we know, or a link to whatever you built so that we can find it.
And a public link at that.
Yeah, and it should be a public link. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to see it. So I will test the links as they come in. So hopefully, if you're not last minute, it'll come out, or it'll be we'll be able to test it beforehand. On June 30th, which is the day before Canada Day, it happens to be a Wednesday. We'll do we'll review the items, the sets, the things we built, and we'll determine a winner. And then we'll get that person's info and stuff. That's the other reason why an email works, because then I can just reply back to you saying, "Hey, you won.
You
What's
won.
Your first? Send me your address."
Winner, gagnant.
Roll up the rim. Darn, I could have done a roll up the rim thing.
Yeah.
Anybody that's not in Canada, Google it. Tim Hortons, roll up the rim. You'll understand. So we're doing that contest. Why don't we go back to? I just want to get my picture back. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's do this. We'll get me back.
Where are you, Jeff?
I think I'm approaching Mars. Although it's not going wonky now.
Yeah, it seems to be stabilized.
Did you pass the Tesla?
No, it actually almost hit me. But anyway, okay. So there was one news item this week, so I'm just going to share my screen, and we'll see if I go wonky again. I'm just going to share basically the same screen we had. And I'm just going to tab over to the right picture.
There was one official news and some unofficial leaks.
I haven't heard about the unofficial leaks because, well, busy. But the main one that we had was the typewriter set was revealed today in sand green.
Yep.
Mental note: when you're in a browser, don't hit F12 because then you get your debug mode up. Anyway. Oh, good. An American did see it.
Yes.
Good. Anyway. The sand green typewriter was announced today. I say sand green a lot because it's a good color. It's one of my favorites, and we're getting a new set. This is actually the new elementary links for it, and I pulled this up purposely, and it looks like I'm in space again. We pulled this up purposely just because it would talk about new parts, and surprisingly, there aren't any new parts. There are some new colorings, but nothing in the new part world. So if anybody is like me, that's not true. There is one new part, which is the ribbons are actually a piece of cloth. And Lego's never made a piece of cloth that's long.
Interesting.
So, and for those of you who don't know what ribbons are, Google typewriters and because they were fun. And it looks like it is working. Although obviously, I'm assuming you pound one key, it'll do the same action pretty much for. Like I don't think there's not 26 different keystrokes, right?
No, it uses the same Technic arm over and over and over. The center one.
So it's just the one that goes up.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to look at the newer stuff.
Very cool piece, though. I like that.
Yeah, those would be kind of a cool part to
get.
To have it. And when I was
the keys are nice.
Yeah.
Can you go to an enlargement of like the front? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. That's
perfect. This is like, I don't know. It's incredible. I I love this thing, and the fact that it's the ideas line makes it even more attractive to me. I love I'm collecting the ideas line right now, and it's just gorgeous what they've done. Like,
it's a gorgeous typewriter. It reminds me, I got at a estate sale, got to be 35 years ago. A guy had an antique typewriter back then, and it looks just like that,
Yeah.
but it was black. And it was like made in 1904.
yeah. Well, and there's the fan design there, which also looks awesome.
Okay, I didn't realize that was the fan design. I was looking at it going, oh, it's dark green like keys and stuff, but then
I think this. I'm guessing here. I didn't actually see this one go through the ranks, but I'm pretty sure that's the fan design.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And this is the Lego version, and they did a great job reimagining it. It's gorgeous. Like it's
gorgeous.
It just looked like a typewriter.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
It does. And sand green. Did I mention that?
You did.
Yeah.
Too bad.
And ribbons.
And ribbons.
Cloth.
And it holds paper.
It's better than the typewriter that they made in 1975 in the idea book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
That's the idea book I found.
Hold on, Dave. Hold on.
Go back a picture. Oh, yeah.
I will. I'm just going to pull screen Dave for a quick second.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it was really a basic typewriter.
Very rudimentary.
Yeah, lots of basic bricks.
So I was going to say, one of those looks like a sticker, and the other one looks like a print.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would say this one here looks like a print. That's definitely a sticker.
That is a sticker.
Yeah.
And that's
really kind of antique look to it. I like that.
Yeah. And it has a carriage return. This slides, right, Rick?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
As you're typing, too.
Awesome.
Okay, that's definitely going to be a worthy buy then.
So $270.
Okay.
Yeah.
2,079 pieces, I think.
Ooh, that's kind of steep. But
probably more than a real typewriter.
But look at it, though. I mean, just look at it.
I'm just catching up on chat as we're talking here. So yeah, there was that. That was pretty much all the news. Although Dave, I want to talk to you, David. David. I'll say David because that's how he spelled it.
That David. That David.
Yeah, that David. Yes. That David. That helps. I do want to talk to you about what you're talking about later, but we have other things to talk about. So why don't we just jump right into that? I'm just going to jump over to this. Ooh. White bricks.
White bricks.
So sorting. You know what? We'll do this first. We'll go like this first. So last week, actually earlier this week even, last week we talked about sorting. And earlier this week, I think it was Sunday night, I just started streaming as I was building that space thing. And a few people jumped on and we started talking about sorting and then realized, wait, we got to hold off on that. So we had a precursor to it, but we'll definitely come back to it today. But everybody sorts differently. Some people, like Fazoom had a stream a couple of weeks ago where Adrian Drake was online, and the way he sorts is not the way I expected it to be. He's got a huge collection, but just the way he sorts, and I'll point it when we go through some steps in a moment, or the different types of sorting, I'll point out where Adrian sits. And sometimes it's weird to me to hear how some people sort. So I always I think we can tell how Dave sorts. Just saying.
Color.
David doesn't sort because he's got no Lego. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't see any Lego in that shot there, David. Is there any pieces in?
I'm not actually in my Lego room.
You got some bins right there in the corner. What is that? Are those bins there in the corner beside you, or is that something else?
No. I actually have
not even one piece Lego.
There you go. What's the
Well, that's not sorting.
That's not.
Anyways, so years ago, and Dave will remember this fondly, and I'm pretty sure Dave could talk about this for hours on end, on the old website called Lugnet, where Rick, you weren't on Lugnet, were you?
No.
Dusko, were you on Lugnet back in the day?
No, that was before my time.
So
I definitely wasn't.
Chantel probably wasn't born. I wasn't.
Chantel doesn't know what a typewriter is.
Chantel, you noticed that I kind of went down and around you. I was working my way back up the stage because I was like, "Yeah, we don't even have to ask you." Anyway, St-Cyr, you were on Lugnet. And Koudys was on Lugnet.
No, not
No.
once.
Dave, for the record, Dave basically kept Lugnet alive for the length of Lugnet because he would post
Wow.
continuously.
Probably, yes.
I think in the history of Lugnet, I'm the third most posted person.
And Larry is above you.
And Larry's above me.
Yes. Anyway, so in Lugnet years ago, in fact, in 2001, someone posted the
epic thread.
An epic thread, according to Dave, and it was about 20-ish, 23 different layers of sorting or levels of sorting. Your sorting history. So I threw it into a little presentation. Bing. And kind of altered a few little things here and there. He had
Is this a Visio or is this an Excel? What did you use PowerPoint? What are you using here to make your little display here?
This is PowerPoint, you geek.
PowerPoint.
Yeah. I use PowerPoint for you know what? I don't use PowerPoint for anything work related, but I'm using it for Lego. I don't know why. Anyway, so we'll just jump right into it. So if we hit a number where you guys are at, then we'll stop for a moment and continue on. And I'm click. Oh, crap.
Sorting evolution.
So remember I said my computer was really slow? I clicked about 30 seconds ago. Anyway, hold on. Page down. Let's try that again. It's a lot of text. We'll probably scroll over it.
You're going the wrong way, Jeff.
Remember I said my computer is having hairy fits? Yeah. I'm hitting page down. You know what? I said that my finger was having hairy fits. So if you can speed read, oh my God, I'm like literally hitting the page up button and this is horrible.
So step one is basically you get sets as a kid and you keep them in the original boxes. That's one.
So step one, yes.
So step one is not sorting at all.
Yeah, it's basically keeping a set of sets.
Pretty much. You know what? I can go over here and I can. I think this will do it. No. Oh, here we go.
There you
go. Okay. Well, I hit the arrow, so we'll see what happens. So I wanted to get to this page because Remy Everard was the guy who did this back in January 5th, 2021. I did a quick update of it just to change some of the terms because some of the technology has changed, i.e. Bricklink wasn't mentioned, but there was other things mentioned. So so the first line was, let's say you start your collection like most people did with one set. How many of you guys actually started with one set? How many of you guys inherited Lego and that's how you started?
Inherited?
Yes,
I inherited.
Older brother.
Yeah, same here.
One set.
Chantel?
We got Mega Blocks from stores.
Get out.
Until I finally, like when I was really young, got one set. And then that's when it started officially. Because before it was not real Lego.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. My nephew's got Mega Blocks.
Okay, so. Chantel just got moved down to the bottom. No.
She's on a timeout.
Timeout.
It took me that long to find the timeout button. No, that was the thing. Okay, so pretty much a little bit of both, right? One set versus inheriting from family.
I would say that if I got a set for Christmas, like when I'm 5 or 6, like when I got this car for Christmas, this car would stay out of the box of Lego that we had.
Yeah,
because we basically got a box. My brother just because we only get those basic 2, 4, 6, 8 from Lego Samsonite, and there's just basic bricks and windows and stuff. So there's no point in keeping the box anyway. There's no instructions. It just had the green base plates but when I got a set like this stayed out and this stayed with the box for the longest time until it got rolled into the collection. But anyway, go ahead.
So Dave, when we hit the number that applies to that, you can say there. That's what you said. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, sorry.
Because that's one of the numbers, I think.
All
right. So
I already heard this yesterday. I didn't see that. But
all right. You don't sort your Lego collection. You keep them all in the box they came in. Every step between here, after every step, it's your Lego collection grows. So I'm not going to read those. Step 2, you start sorting your Lego. You sort it by set. I don't remember. I started with a big pile of Lego, so I never sorted by step. By set. Step 3, you give up on individual set boxes. Toss all your Lego into a big storage bin or a Lego denim bag
that you could get back in the day from Shop and Home or Samsonite.
There you go. Or a couple of your large boxes. and you get familiar with the sound of digging through a bin. So that's where I started. I started at 3 because I had bins of Lego.
That's basically where I started.
Step 4,
Most
sorry, go ahead,
kids
Dave.
were at that level.
What was
at
that?
some point. I think most of us as kids
Yeah.
were at this level at some point.
Like,
Yeah,
it's really easy because kids don't keep things sorted.
Yeah.
Nope.
So step 4, you begin sorting your Lego by category. So this for me would have been my maybe late teens, maybe like just before my dark age, definitely after my dark age, but yeah. Step 5, okay, you realize you actually have to sort it. You decide to sort it an obvious way by color, and it grows. Right? Step 6, you keep sorting by color. You get pickier about what you have to do, or how do you do it? You start filtering out by type, then by piece. Oh wait, sorry, did I say that? By type for the first time. Probably the first things you sort out by type are minifigs and wheels. You realize you already had base plates sorted out separately. Your collection grows. You gotta wait for the screen to change. Oh, there we go. You cave in and you actually get a sorting system. So has everybody got a sorting system?
Nope.
Rick,
Yeah.
No way. Most of it's just in little containers on the floor right now.
well, but you have some bins behind you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think at step 7 is where you also have a good income that you can actually start buying sorting bins as well, right?
Buying bins, yeah.
So this is maybe, you got yourself a job, you can start considering sorting systems. So maybe it's rather Rubbermaid bins or piles of blue buckets, or fishing tackle boxes.
Or 3033 boxes.
Or 3033 bins, yes. But now you've got a system. All right.
Or Ziploc bags. I've seen people do that.
Yep.
Like when they're
Ziploc
first
bags.
starting off, they don't have much bins, so they just use Ziploc bags until they find some.
Well, and Ziplocs are super cheap.
I still
right?
use
Yeah.
Ziploc bags, actually.
Yeah,
For
same.
sure.
For some pieces, it's easier just to use.
For
Ziploc
most of my pieces, I still use Ziploc bags.
What are Ziploc bags?
So
Yep.
Ziploc bags basically continue with you from this point, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah.
Well, because you can put the bag in the bin, so you never have a bin.
Exactly.
You have a bin
Yeah.
of bags.
Yep. Yep.
That's my sorting system. Big bins of
bags.
bags.
Bins of
So you grow weary of digging through your yellow bricks, looking for that special piece every time. So you think how much work is going to take to split it by part, and you don't do it, right? So you start getting frustrated with your sorting method. Step
That's my
9.
white. White is. I got like a huge tote of white unsorted bricks over there because I never build in white and I don't care. So I got a tote of white unsorted bricks, and they're just gonna sit there until the end of time.
And just to pick a Dave, there's probably some tan in there too. Anyway,
Probably.
yeah.
Probably.
So this still isn't Dave's level though, because this is you have one or two big bins of yellow you haven't sorted out right yet.
White. Yeah.
So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So 9, sorting becomes difficult enough that you decide in some cases not to break some sets down and put them in your main pile of Lego. Instead, you store them as sets because that set is cool just the way it is. Okay, so it's a set from the 80s. That line, even though this was written in 2001, that line still is 100% accurate. The pieces are for that set are either in a box or in a Ziploc bag or something. Congratulations, you've invented set archiving. Does anybody archive their sets in this panel? So you guys have like your sets are in a bag, packed away somewhere.
Depends if it's classic space or not. Yeah.
Yeah, classic space. All my classic space sets are actually.
Yeah, I do. We are together on this.
But Dave, you don't do that. You just build all your classic space sets, and they're built.
Yeah, and then I put them in a Ziploc in the tote in the garage, so they're ready for the next show.
But I guess technically that's archiving. I don't consider that archiving though, because that's just your.
Yeah, I have to go. The sets aren't there anymore. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I took my 17 6 8 9 off the wall there, and I put them in Ziplocs, and they're in a tote.
All right.
Honestly, the only one I did that too was Mindstorms, and I don't even believe that counts because it's just random pieces.
I love my storm though.
But I mean, it is all the Mindstorm bricks and stuff too.
Yeah,
right?
it's all separate.
Yeah.
It's
So-
a set.
It's a set, yeah. So 10, you give up and decide to sort your parts by type rather than by color. You get more bins or tackle boxes or whatever your container of choice is. You dedicate an evening or a weekend or a month to it or a year and split it by type. So Adrian Drake, not for everything, but Adrian Drake, he was talking about his sorting thing, and he pulled out one of those Rubbermaid or one of those pull-out tubs, like one of the stackable Sterilite containers. He pulled out one of those of 1x2 Technic bricks with a hole in it, every single color in the bin.
Yep, people do that.
And I get it, but for me, in my brain, the level of building he does, where he builds these big, massive things,
and one color,
got huge amounts, and one color, I was totally expecting him to be a color sorter.
Yeah, for sure.
But he does do that for bricks and stuff, but it's just that particular bin. And that type of thing always throws me off, because if I want to build something out of Technic, and I need all the different sizes of Technic beams, now I've got to pull out 10 different bins that are huge in order to grab the yellow from here and the yellow from here and the yellow from here. It's just...
It makes sense to sort it by color, yeah.
To me, it still makes sense by color in part, but that's where I am. But, I mean, it's weird how different people are at different stages, right? Is anybody else at this stage?
I'm at the color stage.
So you're sorting by color, Rick?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorting by color too.
I sort by color and
then function.
And some, exactly.
Okay, so you're actually further down.
Yeah.
Because there's the 23 step.
That, yeah.
All right. Let me get to the next slide. Hopefully this goes pretty quick. Hopefully I clicked on it and I did. Okay. You've now invented your own Lego categorization system. You have no doubt separated out bricks, plates, wheels, minifigs, slopes, and so on. But you also clump things with curves together and doors and windshields together. You also have a category called miscellaneous, blah, 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 blah.
And I'm going to mention that again, remind, as Jeff said at the beginning, this is 2001, before all those unique pieces came out after that. So I think the curves was very limited back then.
Yes. And that's where amazingly, your categories don't look much like the L-Draw categories. Yeah. So I edited this to Bricklink, or Lego categories. Does anybody sort by Legos category? Wait, hold on. Does anybody sort by Bricklink categories?
No.
Other than me.
I know you do. I admire that.
I'm sure Bricklink sellers do, but
yeah, Bricklink sellers definitely.
Yeah, well, and I have that as well. Bricks and plates by color and size. Everything else is sorted by type. Interesting. So then, if you're not doing it by Bricklink, are you doing it by any of the Lego categories, or just by what you like in your head?
Yeah, mostly just like what I find useful, what I actually need when I'm building.
Yep.
I would say this sorting method started before the internet. So I can't use the Bricklink because every time I admire the way you've always said it, Jeff, and I go, I'm going to try to adapt this to the Bricklink. So I go Bricklink, and I go, that's going to be way. I have to revamp everything.
Well, yeah, and I mean sorting by Bricklink. I mean we'll get to it, but for me, I have. Let me just grab a bin that's easy to see.
Yeah.
That's handy. You know what? We'll just full screen me for a second because it's me. So white 1x1 plates to white 2x2 plates, all in the same bin, labeled, numbered, because my daughter today grabbed a box because she was building something, and then she randomly took the box of yellow and put it on a shelf. And I'm like, stop. Where does that go? So she grabs the yellow box, puts it a shelf lower. I'm like, stop. Where did it go? And she's like, I don't know, Dad. And I'm like, look at the number. And then she's like, oh.
Jeff has his own Dewey Decimal System. I love it.
Oh, you said it. I was going to say
Dewey. Rick, I knew you were thinking it too. I was going to get to look at it. So, I knew you were going to say that.
Problem with this is,
when you get a new one,
guess what size plate we just got?
Yeah, when you get a new one, you have to rechange it. Yeah.
1x5 plate. So now I've got to make right. Not a big deal with this because I have enough space. But when it's a new curve slope, and my curve slope bin is, well, this isn't curve slope, but my curve slope bin is this size. This is tiles, obviously. And there's now new slopes, new curved pieces, new tiles. I now have to re-expand these, and that's a whole other video series.
Yeah. Anyway. Then you have to add a number. It's like house numbers. You have to have like 1.5 now.
There you go. 14.
No, I just reprint the labels because labels are cheap. And coincidentally, this is now sitting on my desk for the past half a year. Labels are cheap. I have 2 of those sheets sitting here that I just haven't relabeled everything with. Anyway, so yeah, I am anal and love Bricklink.
And I love Jeff's sorting method. I've seen it in action, and it works very well.
Yeah, it does. It does. Okay. Step 12. We'll try and zoom through this as much as we can. You realize you have piles of stuff that don't fit easily into categorization, RCX train track, A-shape pieces, monorail supports. Again, this is from 2001 when monorail supports were something you could actually get. You get a different size drawer system for stuff like that. So you now have small drawers, small bins. You have some bigger bins. 13, your collection is now clearly housed in many different types of containers, ranging from buckets to drawers to bins to individual tackle box components. So you have a wide variety of stuff. You don't have a system of bins, right? Technically. Anybody other? I know Dave is pretty much a system of bins. Does anybody have a random selection of stuff still?
Well, yeah, I will use like the drawers back there, and then if they're too big, then I just find a container, and that works too.
Yeah. Dave, ice cream pails, past. We've talked about it in the past. You can come back to that.
We don't want to get.
Yeah. Dave, I'm just pissed off that you never invited me over to help you make more storage.
I'm just saying, it was the 140 ice cream containers I took to the transfer station that day.
Oh, yeah.
4 liters total from Chapman. I ate them all.
All right. Let's zoom by. So you begin to develop large piles of Lego in various states of being sorted.
That's me right now.
So sorted stuff. I mean, this is everybody, right? We always have a pile of stuff that's not sorted, stuff that we want to keep together. We have bins of parts. This is not my bin of parts, but we have bin of parts that are just sitting here for a project, right? Just sitting off to the side.
You almost need like what I did was for a while was I had a project bin, and it was just where I put stuff while I was working on it.
Yep. I have a little bag of boat tiles in a bunch of random colors because I'm waiting for a few more colors to come out to build some pool balls, to build a pool table. And I've had that project going for about 2 years, and that's all I've done because the other colors aren't available yet. Lego, orange and purple. Come on. Okay. We're more than halfway through, maybe. I'm just waiting for the click to happen.
Well, actually,
go.
You know what? I might not have actually clicked. I might have just activated the window. We only have 2 people. No one's watching anymore.
Yes!
No one's watching.
Well, there's 2 people watching, and I know most of you guys are on the chat. So Mr. Blue left, so that means there's no one watching. Oh, wait. Well, so Carol, he might be watching still. Anyway, okay. You begin to build strong opinions of Plano versus Stack-On and Rubbermaid versus Sterilite. Yes. Anyway, the original categories you made from the beginning to follow this life cycle. The original categories you made begin to follow this life cycle. They grow too large to fit in their container. You divide the container into categories, 2 categories. And Monsieur Caron is still watching. Thank you very much.
Merci, Marc-André.
Yeah, I know it's Marc-André. I don't know if he wants me to share his name. Anyway.
Hey, he used to be a YouTuber. He used his name all the time. So
Okay, I'm skipping through 16. It's too much text. You realize at this point the end. It's this is the point. The end game is that you want to have a different compartment for every type of piece you own.
That's what Jeffy does.
Compartment / Ziploc bag. I'll just add that in. You realize that. Yeah, I read that. Every once in a while, you open a drawer you haven't opened in a while and discover that you've been sorting some pieces into 2 separate places. This throws your categorization for a loop. How exactly do you categorize a 1x2 plate? Anyway, yeah. We've all done that where we put the same piece in 2 different bins. It's like, oh, this is a tile. Oh, no, this is a modified plate. Those jumper. There's a lot of tiles and modified plates that have studs on them, though. When you go to Bricklink, you expect them in one category, and they're not. Anyway. Number 19. We've never done this. You arrange your house so that you can fit your storage system into it. Hopefully just one room.
I mean,
this basement used to have walls and separate rooms. When I moved in, I tore down the entire interior of this basement.
Those walls.
yeah, we saw that on Facebook.
Yeah. I don't know if I click. I clicked. I just don't know if it's going to go. So let's click again and we'll see what happens. Number 20. There we go.
Yes.
You give up on the 1 compartment for every piece theory because you can't keep up with that. So I stopped at 19 apparently.
Yeah.
Instead, you start pulling some similar things into shoebox-sized bins. It's okay to dig through the pile of windshields looking for trans yellow black drawn hoods. Okay, so yeah, technically, I guess I could be there because all my trans yellow windscreens are in a plastic Ziploc bag in a bin, and they're also individually bagged inside of that. So it is a one or bigger bin with the smaller pieces in it. So I guess, okay, fine. Number 21, Dave. You document your categories so you don't get lost. Dave.
Dave. That's Dave.
Again, Vizio.
Dave.
Amazing.
Even where these cells are in the room.
Amazing.
This is I thought OCD on too many things.
This is crazy.
I also do this, for the record.
Jeff does it too.
But I'm just picking on Dave. I have a Vizio layout of my entire room, and I have an Excel file that has where all the bins are located in that room.
Jeff and I will compare every once in a while.
But for me, that's to figure out where I can put a bin because I'm reorganizing something. So before I move the black and the white bricks around to different shelves, I make sure I can fit them all in properly when I expand that section. Anyway, okay. You develop a multi-stage sorting system. It may take a piece several hops before it ends up in the final resting spot, but it's a bit more efficient to sort that way. So sort by color, then you take that bin of color and you sort by part.
Yeah, it's two.
That is what I do.
Yep.
2 steps for me.
Ditto. Bizarrely enough, you actually give up and go back to sorting by color. Only this time you sort by color after sorting by piece. So now you have a bin for yellow 1x3s and a bin for black 1x3 plates and so on. Okay, sure. Didn't do that. But anyways, these are the last 2 ones, I think. Finally, you create an overflow system of buckets where the bin of 1x3 yellow plates is full. You just any additional ones you put all the additional ones into the overflow bin. I have a bag here of corner yellow plates that's overstock. I just haven't put it back up in my overstock bin. I have overstock bins. They're all at the top of my shelves. Dave, you do the same. You use your garage.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure most of you guys do the same as well, where you have bins of extra parts that you don't use. When you buy a pick-a-brick cup full of something, and then you say, why did I do that? Why, oh why did I buy an entire 2 pick-a-brick cups of headlight bricks in yellow? Because
they were there.
Hey, Zoom, how you doing?
That is,
I have the same thing.
Because you wanted to fill your cup.
Headlight
Yes. The other answer is snot.
Same green headlight bricks. I just left them in pick a brick cup because there's no point sorting them.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, and that's your storage system for it now, right?
Yeah.
So, finally, you create an overflow. We did that. 25. You begin to toss most pieces directly into overflow. When you go to the Bricklink store, when you go to the Lego store and you buy a cup of pick brick, and then you get home and realize, oh, I already had that part.
I've done that.
Yeah, I think that's almost it. There's like 2 more slides according to this. Oh, there's a whole new page. You now have what to a stranger would be a bizarre sorting system. You have some parts thrown together by bin, by types. You have some parts separated by bin for each part. You have some parts split out with separate bins for each color. You have some parts split out by how old they are. Red 1x2s from the 60s.
Oh my goodness.
1x2s from the 70s, and new red
I ain't
1x2s.
doing that.
I do have a bin called 70s Lego and 80s Lego.
I do too,
70s
but
Lego.
those are unique to that era. Like my 2x2 bricks from 1965 to 2020 are in one bin.
Yeah, same.
They all work the same way.
And you have an alphabetized pile of large buckets for the overflow pieces and another one for the first stage of sorting. So you have your sorting bins, you have that, you have overstock, you own bins that you specifically use for sorting.
You start looking for a new house.
I'm
sorry, I'm reading ahead.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So the stranger thinks you're certifiably insane and at least anal retentive. You start looking for a new house, one with a larger basement. We've all been there. Well, Dave, Koudys, 28, man. 28.
No, downsized.
No, 28.
Nope.
Do it.
This is going to get smaller too. 98%, 99% of the stuff will never be used. 99. I don't know which.
It's going to be like you have to set up like a maze system to get to the stairs. You have to walk through the maze of Lego bins.
Exactly.
29, I'm guessing you're getting old now because vision recognition becomes interesting for you. Actually, no. You want something to be able to sort your Lego for you. And people have built robots, axle sorters, Dave.
I've seen them. They're really nice.
Yes, me too. You begin to long for the day where you could sit at your desk and actually reach every piece you own without getting up. Can anybody still sit from their desk and reach every piece they own?
Well, at the moment, I can because my collection is not nearly as large as
Chantel is. Well, enjoy. 31, you decide to keep a special set or two at your desk away from the huge sorting system, so you have sets at work. I'm not going to continue reading that one. That one's just blah. You can continue reading as I hit the button to page. For Zoom, if you recall, this is actually from Lugnet days. My mother-in-law actually does all your sorting.
That's true. You told me about that. Yes, actually.
Wow.
Yes, he has pictures of it. So
nice.
That's awesome. Of course, somewhere along the way, you probably quit buying just sets and start to do things like buy Lego sets in bulk. To the point where you have tens or hundreds of unopened boxes. We all have, well, some of us have that. Some more than others.
Over here in Quebec, we call that the fridge.
The fridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where the closet where you put all your new sets that you haven't opened, and you keep them there for ages, and that's called the fridge.
There you go.
Take off, eh?
Take off, eh? Buy Lego sets in bulk. We did that one. Work on a very large construction projects. Everybody, I think, has been doing that pretty much at some point or another. Acquire other people's collections. I've never done this yet. Well, no, that's not true. I did acquire my nephew's collection because he was done with Lego. Run large auctions over the net. Did I mention this was from 2001?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people still do that.
They're missing Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace.
Well, this is true. That is okay. Fine. You're not running it though, but you're using large auctions over the net. There you go. And this brings up an entirely new sorting challenges, but those won't be written about tonight, at least not by me. So again, this is written in 2001. For Zoom, you are always seen. And I just wrote down here as well, other considerations, box storage, instruction storage.
I'm amazed at a thread from 2001, and if you read the thread, it's actually brilliant too on Lugnet. But the thread from 2001 is so apropos, and it hasn't changed really that much at all in the last 20 years. Or the people in the Lego hobby at all. In the various stages they could be at.
Since David shared this picture, and I thought it was just a random Tupperware or a random bin. What is this, Dave?
Actually, my sorting system. I actually have large bins where I put most of my pieces in Ziploc bag. I sort by color because, and I always say to people that say, "Oh, you're sorting by color. What you're doing? Are you blind? Are you stupid?" Well, I say it always depends on what kind of building you're doing. Because I do large moon-based structures that are basically monolithic in color. So when I'm building a module, a moon-based module, I'm basically just pulling out my blue bin, and that's the next picture. Actually, I'm going to show it to you. It's my larger bin. It's written blue.
That's just,
that's blue.
It's to tell you that
it's my largest bin, and you can see in the next picture, it's full of Ziploc bags,
and it's sorted.
It's sorted by piece. So the plates are in one bag. That you see one by 8s over there. I have the 1x2s, and actually under that you have like piles of 2x6 that are just clicked together and in sort of big pylons. So all my blues are there. Of course, I do sort by the smaller pieces by in drawers, but as you can see, I started piling them up in colors because again, when I'm building mostly in blue or mostly in white. So I need all my colored parts together. Or if I'm doing highlights, while I'm doing them in one color, I'm not doing them in like multicolor highlights. So that's why I need my special parts are basically sorted by color too.
That's
But
nice.
I do have some
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
nice drawers.
I knew that was coming.
that I got this one too.
Oh,
Make sure you buy your Fazooms. Anyway,
And this is my prize one. That's
Wow.
so where is this located in your house, and what's your address?
Not gonna tell. But see, space is an issue for me because I own a relatively small house, and my Lego room is actually the smallest room in the house, and I have three children, three boys, so they each have their room, so I have to limit my space. So that's why I don't have like the big sorting system, and that's why I use mostly in bins, and it works for me because, like I said, since I'm working mostly in one color, I just have to pull out one bin, and I can keep going and keep
work away
building.
Yeah, because the thing about sorting it like such fine, like really fine down, is it takes up a lot more space because you need more containers and a whole new system.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, my sorting system is the way it is because I have a good sized room, right?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, that's a good point. People that have smaller rooms, they have a more compact collection. I mean, like Dave's collection is the way it is because his room is fairly compact.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, you start to the size of the space you have.
And to what you're building, what your style of building. If you're building multicolored city mocks, or I'm guessing that you're going to have to sort by pieces type and then by color. But if you're like me and you're using mostly one color on your mock, probably going to need just one color sorting building.
Yeah, and then you also have to sort your bins by accessibility. Like I put the piece I use the most, like just the plates, thin plates, and I put it way in the back where I couldn't even get to it. So that doesn't help. Every time I need to go get it, I have to open it and hit the desk and it doesn't work. So now you have it rearranged, so it's a lot easier, more accessible.
That's actually a good point. I did one kind of sorting. And after a few builds, I realized that I was mostly using my space type of pieces, and I had my like windows and wheels nearby, and all my space things were like way. I had to get up, so I just switched them. I put my space theme where I could use them the most, and most of my city stuff is now packed away. At the other end of the room.
Awesome.
Yes. The dream. Thank you, Brickham's Den.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Steal my line. And I mean, I just kind of shared my screen here. Just, I'm building something with these shades, so I just grab those bins and bring them over to my table. So I don't have to get up. And I can be lazy, but I can get everything I need for the most part right there, right then, as I need it. So,
well, it's not being lazy; it's like being efficient.
Efficient. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if I open a bin and I notice it's empty, then I know I need to order that part, or I need to figure out where it is. But most likely, I need to order that part because I'm just that way. So. Cool.
Yeah, I when I ran out of something, I don't. You look in my sorting bin. I could, but I don't. I just ordered the part from Bricklink. Bricks and pieces directly.
I try not to do that, but I mean, I only will order if I'm actually out of the parts, right?
Yeah.
Or I don't have the part. I mean,
if I thought I didn't have the parts, I ordered from Brickham, and I did a sort, and I found all of them. That was great. Yeah.
Now you got bonus Lego.
Exactly.
Look at this. Look at this mess of pieces.
Oh.
I got all the triangle tiles in all the colors available. I mean, you see the yellow stripe pieces in here too. Like that's why one of the main reasons I placed that order. But I noticed all those triangle bits existed. Not to mention, you might see that little thing right there. that nice orange piece. That's a classic space helmet. With my minifigs, I wanted to have a few of them with the helmets on for the orange guys.
Do you let you order that through Bricks and Pieces?
Yeah, this is Bricks and Pieces.
An orange classic space helmet. Interesting.
Yeah. None
just
of
the helmet. Just the helmet is available.
Yeah, there's no torsos. There's no air tanks. I mean, the parts are available, but there's no torsos or air tanks. I'll probably do a video for this later on in the week. So if you want to actually,
we were lucky enough to order all the parts for the minifig in log bulk. We're here.
Was that last year's one or the one that just finished?
Last year's.
Last year.
Like 2 years
this year, because they pulled it out at the last minute. Yeah. But last year
Ours
we
did as well.
Yeah.
And a very good friend of mine shipped me 6 because I missed out on that lug bulk, so I have 6 orange minifigs now.
Nice.
I own 3, but I had to buy 3 books to get them.
That's okay too.
Yeah, but anyway, and I also have a watch list for it in case someone ever puts it on.
Jeff, send me an email.
No, I'm okay with 3. I don't need more.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk later. Yeah. Okay, back to that. Cool. So, does anybody sort differently than what we kind of talked about in all those points from 2001?
I
mean, I guess everybody's got
stuff around me.
What was that, Dusko?
I'm mixing some steps from there. Some pieces I sort by color, some sort by type. Depends from how much I use those pieces, and that's it. All bricks are sorted by color because it's easier for me to dig in a pile of, let's say, the blue bricks if I need one size or another while I'm building something. So that's the way I do it. But but for example, plates, I sort by size, not by color, because for some reason it's easier for me to use it that way.
Yeah, some people like that, and I've seen it work.
Yeah. And how about you, Rick? You were about to say something too.
Well, sorry, I never really I got back into this just a few years ago, so I haven't really nailed down like an actual perfect process. But what I started doing first was when I got the bulk lots, because that's really what I was sorting for the sets. I would build the set, and then if I didn't have room to display it, I would break it down into parts like clumps, and then put it back in the box, and then leave it in the box. So the sets are all with their own pieces. I haven't distributed them amongst the bulk lot yet. But when I buy bulk lots, I'll start going through the bins. I'll just take a box and just pour it into a smaller bin. I'll get one of those. Just one second. Well, it'll be a tray. It'll be a tray, and then I'll set up a bunch of these around the tray, and I'll just start putting colors into each of them. And it doesn't matter what it is; it's going to be a color into that bin, except unless it's a minifig part. Any kind of minifig part, whether it be the minifig himself or a utensil or an item that a minifig would use, anything like a spear or a chain, anything that's kind of feels minifig-ish, I put into a separate bin, regardless of color.
Yep.
So you're really just separating bricks, plates, major pieces, slopes, tiles, that kind of thing. But you're putting it all color first, and then I'll take the little bin of all the mixed stuff, and I'll break that down into, as Dave said earlier, functions, like groups of functions. So slopes.
Yeah, types or functions, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I always call it functions, but some people call it types.
Yeah. And then I got the same. Yes, exactly.
They're good. Then, I got mine from the dollar store.
That's exactly where I get mine. They come in a pack of 4, I think. Yeah. So once I start sorting into those sub levels, as you can see back here, I've got 7 bins. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got panel pieces and windows, doors, and I think that's pretty much it up there. Below that, I've got slopes. Then it goes to 2 by any brick, 1 by any brick, 1 by plates or something like this. Yeah. All the rest of the plates, and then a Technic bin and miscellaneous. It's like it just goes on and on, but it works for me.
It would work, and then as they get full, you just add more.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I am at the stage now where I've got a bunch of boxes down here that need to be sorted. So
Right.
this will eventually have to get expanded. But that's the other thing, is that I don't have the space down here to expand that way. So I'm really limited, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So sorry, when you were going over those categories, are those?
Ooh,
Sorry, Orange Classic Spaceman.
Awesome.
Can't stop staring.
that's amazing.
Are those categories that you were going at? Was that by the color?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Because I was just checking. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it was
here,
all,
maybe I can, if I unplug I wonder if it'll still work if I unplug my camera. Do you think it will?
if you disappear, we'll know, right?
It'll
Yeah.
work. The audio will just be not
Oh,
synced.
okay, here we go.
Nope. Oh, there he is.
Oh, I'm just joking.
Hi,
I
Dave.
removed him. I removed him.
Hey, there he is.
It worked, but now I'm upside down.
There you go.
Okay, here we go.
I had to remove you. It was just
Okay,
fun.
so the audio is going to be messed up, so I'll
No,
just
it's
try
actually
to
No,
read
it
it.
won't be because you can't see yourself. That's fine. So we won't know it's not synced.
I have all black here.
Oh, now we can't hear his audio, but okay.
Oh yeah.
Because the audio is from the actual
Computer.
laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to upgrade to Pro to get audio through your phone.
Light gray.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect.
So basically, start with one color and work my way around. I started with black, then gray, or dark gray, or dark blay, light
Whatever.
blay, white, and then all the miscellaneous colors.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool.
And that's it.
So, I mean, I think as a conclusion, we can say that it's based on you sort to your room, you sort to your collection, obviously as well.
Well,
you
and
sort to what you built.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the bin system that I chose. I mean, I
Yeah.
just wanted to get something that, like, I do like the Sterilite containers. I really do.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to splurge the money on them.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I would love to have every part by color, so color and part. But
Yeah.
you know, you'd need about 8,000 bins for that. You know, so
Yeah.
About $3,200 worth at least.
yeah.
No,
Yeah, I
thank
don't
you.
even
I'm
know
good.
no price. I really don't.
Jeff,
Because-
that's so specific.
Yeah, I have a
Price-
spreadsheet for that too.
Yeah. Because like
Well,
each one of these shelves is $70 at IKEA. They're Billy bookcases.
Yeah.
And then each one of these things is $1 over at Home Depot. And I got 500 of those. And then
That's not
like
bad.
11 bookshelves, and like
Yep.
you say, wow, that's money.
Yeah, but that's pretty darn good price wise.
Interesting those boxes, the way they line up so perfectly with the bookshelves.
That's
They just
why
seem to fit
we were
perfectly.
doing a lot of testing, and we
Mm-hmm.
got them. But I measured each one of these things, and then the only problem is that Jeff told me this afterwards. I got the older Billy bookcases, which had the crappy
Oh.
laminate shelves, so you can see there's a swoop in
Say,
line.
yeah.
And Jeff said if I waited a couple months when I bought newer Billy bookcases, they're more
They
rigid.
built them better, yeah.
So, what are you gonna do?
It's a lot, but you knew that at the time, right?
Are you able to flip the shelves, or do they have little notches for the?
They have the notches and all
Yeah,
that stuff. When I get money, I'll just get a sheet of plywood and I'll cut up shelves.
Yeah.
Whatever. But that's fine. They're not falling down. I don't care. It doesn't look good. But then I did exactly like you, Rick. There's this color. There's light blay there. There's blue right there. So I can grab blue just like David. Right there.
Awesome. Yeah.
My original. I had those Sterilite, whatever, and I went with the original logo from the 70s, the black, white. This guy here. So my Lego collection was sorted by in the colors. So it was the yellow.
Yeah, I remember that.
red. So when you look at my wall, it was the yellow, blue, red, white, black. So
I love that.
that does not work anymore. But there's white way in the end. There's red, yellow, blue, and the black and light gray are on this side. And as I say, I like Jeff mentioned a bunch of times, because of the confined space, I wanted to pack as many bricks into each one of these things as I possibly can. So like my tan collection is only in 6 of these bins. So all my bricks are in one bin, like all of them. All my plates in another bin. So, but when you get to blue, it's getting to the point where my 1x1, 1x2, 1x3 plates are in one bin, and 1x4 plus are in another bin, right? So that's why I have like 17 blue bins and only 6 tan bins. So as soon as one bin gets full, that's when I subsort. And then you get into the point where you have a 2x4 brick bin completely full of like 900 2x4 bricks, and I'm never going to use 900 2x4 bricks in a build anywhere. And I still get them when I buy a lot.
Sure.
So as Jeff said, I had 3 big, huge Rubbermaid totes in the garage. And so any overflow of a basic brick go immediately to the garage. I don't even have to look at them. Don't have to sort them. All basic brick go to the garage. 1x1 to 2x8, straight to the garage. And I don't have to worry about them. So I just have to sort of plates and all the miscellaneous modified plates and whatever. But then, but as I say, as soon as the bin gets full, that's when it gets sorted. So I don't have a lot of air space in these bins at all, so I can pack more bricks in here. I wish I could do like Jeff can do, but I wouldn't have the space for it.
Yeah, it's crazy to do it this way. I mean, and for me, it was just, I found bins that worked for my storage system, and I just kept on buying them. I mean, this is 16, 20 years worth of purchasing of those bins, right? So if you take that $3,200, for the record, as we said earlier, spreadsheet, I have it laid out, so it's not much to say, oh, well, this has been this type, and this bin cost me this much. It's easy enough to do the math. But when you spread $3,000 over 20 years, right? It's like what, $150 a year for storage. So,
and I'm going to say I've known Jeff way over 20 years now, and his sorting system has been consistent over the 20 years. When I first met Jeff, my sorting system was cardboard boxes and ice cream containers. and then I got rid of those, and I went to the Sterlite shelves. And I got rid of those, and I went to this. So we had at one point 16 or 18 of those Sterlite shelves, the pull-out shelf. Those things aren't cheap. No. And we got rid of those. We went this way. So I've changed my storage system. Yeah. I mean, my sorting hasn't changed at all, because even back in the ice cream containers, it's sorted exactly the same way as we're sorting here. Yeah. But so Jeff has been very consistent over the 20 years I've known him. So
I mean,
and you've been lucky, Jeff, to find the same kind of container for all these years, because that's kind of a problem too, because you start using one type of sorting bin or sorting system, and next thing you know, they're changing the model or they just discontinue the model. So
these Plano containers in this configuration do not exist anymore at your local Walmarts or whatever. However, I went to Plano's website the other day because I'm getting to the point where I think I need to go, a piece needs to go from this size bin to this size bin, just because I need to. And Plano does sell something similar with the, with the half-size drawers, but it's some kind of a rust-protected bin for your fishing lures so they don't get rusty. It says it doesn't leave any residue or anything like that, but I'm going to see if I can track some of those down and buy 1 or 2 and see how it works. Because I only have about 3 or 4 of these empty. And if I start redoing every single color, all the main colors, I probably need about 10 or so. So, don't fall for it. Just for the record, Amazon has one of those, you can add this to your purchase for a pretty cheap amount of money. And they had these Plano containers, and the picture showed this, but you get the new ones, which are a lot smaller. They kind of have indents. I've got one over there I can show you if you want. But, I made the mistake. I got 4 of them, and then it's like, oh, these are garbage now. So I'm going to donate them to someone who needs them, whatever. But so.
Well, that was my plan eventually, was with these bins that I picked up. They're just basic 8.5 by 11 sized. Like, you can fit a sheet of paper inside of it. So that they're not as large as the Sterlite, but I wanted to buy dividers. But the thing is, they don't make dividers specifically for
I've had that issue too, I've had to make some dividers using tape, and then it's like, oh, this isn't working. Lego's sticking to the tape now.
Well, I was thinking, cardboard. I was thinking foam core. If you buy foam core, you can cut slots and sort of fit it together, and then create your own custom sized. But basically, I'm always going to keep things by function. So all the slopes will be in the same drawer until I eventually have too many, and then I have to separate, right? But
another option is find someone who has a 3D printer, because most of those containers probably have templates for storage dividers on Thingiverse.
We happen to know somebody who has one.
Yeah. So I mean, I think there's a site. I think it's called Thingiverse. If you go on there, you can just search for your particular bin thing and write dividers, and you'll probably be surprised to find, or you probably would find something.
The only problem with me is that I tend to be a little bit impatient about those sorts of things.
Granted, but I'm just saying, there are solutions now. It's easier now.
I want it today, and
it's easier
buy it in a store. And
the other thing I found that was extremely important was to get one of these. Certainly.
Label maker.
Oh,
Yeah.
label maker.
As soon as they got like Rick, you're good right now. But if it gets any bigger, like I mean, you can be like Dave and get the marker on the tote too. But I use this thing almost every time I'm in this room.
We actually have one, and I have always dreamed of having labels on the drawers too. So I've even thought about putting like an actual, either maybe a print of the brick or an actual brick on the outside.
You do. Yeah, there's actually templates that are available on the web for P-Touch brother label making. So you can
for the printer style.
For the printer
style into your computer. Yeah,
so you can print the
Lego pieces.
The Lego piece with the name on it.
Yeah,
some of them you can do color too.
Yep.
Because you can put like a blank sticker sheet in the printer, right?
Yeah, the ones I'm thinking of are just like a roll of sticker. That's just like a wider roll. It's like a cash register receipt type roll, and then you just print out the sticker as that.
You need to. Yeah, they have Dymo label makers you can buy.
The Dynamo ones.
Yeah. And they're great.
Yeah, and there is a guy selling software. He's got the templates already for a lot of the pieces.
I've seen that guy.
And I don't know.
I think I looked at originally.
Yeah, and he's still got them, and he's still going. It's still not 100% complete for the system, obviously, because we keep on adding more parts.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a bonus. The problem I find though is when you do have to upgrade that container, you're then pulling those labels off.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just gonna try. I had a bin here, and I'm just trying to find it. I originally started sticking labels on top of my bins. Of course, now I can't find one. Anyways, I used to, I'll just open this up for an example because I don't have one here. I used to take like a label and stick it in here to fit that. And it was like just an Avery label, and it would say what was in each bin.
Right.
And I did that for about 6 months until I had to resort. And then I went, well, that was dumb. Avery labels don't come off well. So it's like goo gone in water and all that fun stuff. So I still have a few of those bins around. Those are my embarrassments, but
this is what basically I do. Before I would just put 4x plates or 4x plates plus, and I would say, but as soon as I go to my sub sorts, because this is almost to the point where I have to sub sort it, I just rip off the 6 and put that in the next bin. So I just reuse the labels now. So that's all I do. 4x and 6x plates are in here.
Yeah.
Of course, it's been ripped off. I ripped it off, but it gives you an idea. And I even have an Excel template for how to lay out the grid system in here. I have a bunch of Excel templates for that just because when I printed that, I used it. I don't use it anymore, but I still have the files. So if anybody wants to put labels on their bins and their Plano containers, let me know.
Yeah, this is always my struggle is that I don't want to spend more time sorting than I am building.
That's right.
And
sorting can almost be its own hobby. There's the Lego building
exactly.
and there's the Lego sorting.
And it can actually consume you. Like you can get so wound up about how to do it, and you just go around in circles about what if I did this? So, well, maybe I should do that. And I don't know. I cringe when I that's why those boxes down there haven't been sorted. I'm just like I don't know.
Rather yielding.
Yeah.
What I find is you do a mass sort every once in a while. So every year or every 2 years, things accumulate. You get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm now sorting. Christmas season is a great time to do sorting. You have extra time off around the holidays because people take off time.
Yeah.
You can sit there and watch TV. You can sort while you're
doing
doing that.
Lego.
Well,
but that's my problem. When I start sorting, I get to a point where I grab a piece. Then I could make this, and then it turns into a building session.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
This is why I know David. This is why I know him.
Yeah, and something else too. All these new sets that I have here. Eventually, I would like to get the pieces of sets that I don't really want to keep built into bins. But the problem is my OCD kicks in, and I don't want the brand new set pieces mixing with the old bulk pieces.
I never got that.
Like you're new and you're used, you mean, right?
New and used, and I want to know which ones were mine and which ones were. It's so weird, but
come on.
I think worse. No, that's perfectly
OCD.
I think it's the difference between me coming into this like never ever having a Dark Ages, Like we used to have a cardboard box with us 3 kids from 0 to 15, and my brother and sister gave it up, and I kept going with it. And that's when it started to get sorted. Because every time I tried to sort with my brother and sister, that never worked. A minute. I'll have to pack the big cardboard box. But after it was just mine, probably just like David, the classic space came out. It was on its own box because I was worried about the trans yellow getting scratched to heck.
Yeah, right.
And then it just went. And as I said, that my sorting system started in my teenage years, in 1984. So,
wow.
When we were younger, I sorted it all. I sorted out all the mega blocks and everything because we did have it mixed and had all the different categories. And within a week, it was all back on the floor and dumped into a bin.
And so they had Josh. Like my sorting system went to the heck when Josh showed up, especially with the minifigs. Like I couldn't keep the minifig together for the life of me. So I didn't bother. For Josh from 0 to 4, I didn't worry about this room at all.
I let my girls come down about 2 months ago, and they played with all the minifigs, and everything I had spent hours and hours and hours totally undone. All undone.
See, that's why all my boys have their own bricks.
Yeah.
It's their own bricks.
Yeah.
They don't come into my Lego room.
Yeah.
They do come, but they and when I actually get new sets and build new sets, they can play with the new sets all they want,
right?
Even if they're mine. But all the bricks that are sorted and all the sets that I use and the builds that I use in shows, they don't get to touch that. I'm sorry, but
that was the last time I said we can't do this again because oh my gosh, I must have spent days sorting that stuff, and within the matter of an hour it was just
easily. I'm still honestly, Josh is 12 now. I haven't even touched my minifigs since he was 4 because I just cry when I look at them. So I'm just like they're all right there, and I just have to keep my space guys separate. That's all I care about. The rest of them.
And my kids are both teenagers now, so it's a little easier for me. I mean, I'm getting more Lego from them now, and that the stuff that they don't want to play with anymore is just getting sorted into the collection. But we also say, if you need to build anything, go ahead, grab what you want, just put it back in the right spot, Sarah. Anyways, got it. And she'll never see this anyhow, so I can say that.
Watch Daddy's stream. I like that. Josh doesn't watch
but yeah, if they want to build something, fine. Like my daughter said to me, "Hey, Dad, I want to build the Voltron set." I'm like, "But we don't have the Voltron set." And she's like, "Well, can't we build it out of the collection?" I'm like, "Sure."
Probably.
So 75% of the parts I had. We ordered the rest of the parts, and she's still building it. It's taking her forever just because she does it when she wants to. But I mean, she knows she can use the parts, and eventually it'll come back into the collection, and that's fine by me, right? Like, if they're a part. Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
No, I was going to say, I would say having the collections that you and I have, it's exemplary for doing that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Josh wanted to build something, go ahead. Yeah. Like, seriously, you pick any era, whatever we don't have, we'll order from Brickworks.
Yeah, any era between 1979 and 1990. Or 1980?
Dave is more like a 1984.
84. Yeah, that's my
1969 to 1999. And as you say, like I have one little corner over there that has the bright pinks and the purples and the whatever else is, and most of it unsorted because first of all, colorblind, so I can't sort it properly. but so they're down there waiting for my nephews that you talked about. My nephews will show up every once in a while and they'll sort for Lego. They're like 7, 8 years old and they want Lego, so they'll sort for an hour or two and then they get whatever, and then I give them a bin of bricks and they go home, and so the parents can step on them and not get downsize here. But the alternate colors that came out after 2004, they're over there. Don't care.
Yeah. So I mean, all my alternate colors are sorted, but they're basically 1 or 2 bins, and everything's in the same thing. Technica is usually in a different bin just because all my Technic is together.
I've always
for those separate colors, but they're usually multiple colors separated, there's probably 3 or 4 colors in one bin, but they're still sorted by the sections.
Like I have like Lego Friends colors, all in or colorful colors, I guess you could say, in one bin, and all the earth colors or dark colors in another one.
Yeah.
Actually, I have the bin that you started with the white and saying the blanc. It actually have a bin like that, but it says all other colors. Because I have a bin for blue, I have a bin for white, I have a bin for gray, light gray, but with actually light gray and light bluish gray.
Yeah.
I actually have a bin for dark gray, and a bin for white, and a bin for yellow, and a bin for black. That's it. All the other colors are going into that big tote that says all the other colors, and I just don't mind about it.
Yep.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, we're hitting an hour and a half, a little bit more than that. So why don't we call it a night?
This was a fun one.
Yes.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah. I like. Well, you can never not like sorting. To me, is part of the hobby, right? And
It's Jeff said.
Totally.
He loves sorting.
And it's actually something that a lot of new AFOLs or new fans ask about. Mm-hmm. How do you sort your bricks? What's your sorting system? So,
yeah,
I hope someone learned something today.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I mean, like for me, sorting is my zen. When I can't build or I've got builder's block or whatever, I'll just start sorting. When I'm having a rough day, maybe I'll sort some Lego, because it's something I can take my mind away, right? And just do sorting.
The mindless task, you can just put your mind on hold and just do something else.
Yeah.
And
I mean, sometimes that also you just start thinking about, oh, hey, there's that piece. Oh, I can use that piece in this thing to do that, right? Like maybe not necessarily start building right away, but at least trigger something in your brain. So
I start building right away. That's my
and
problem.
then it becomes a mess everywhere because you're still technically working on that project. Yeah.
I have a bin of the random pieces for what I'm building. When I'm done building that thing, this gets sorted back in.
Yeah.
And this is just my pick bin when I need things. I only have 2 of these, so I didn't use them. But I have a bunch of these boxes sitting around. By the way, Lego game boxes, the best boxes for sorting or for doing things. Anyway, so yeah. All right. Well, anybody else want to say something before we head out? No. All right, we'll post the picture for probably in the next few days. I'll finish off the rules and stuff for that contest.
Awesome.
We'll post it. Build something Canadian. Send it to us at CanadianBrickBuilders@gmail.com. You know what I mean. And we'll start advertising it a bit more. And contest closes June 30th. Some of you guys is anybody doing any streaming this week or planning to be on any streams? Anything like that? No? You're not going to
I don't know. We'll see how Saturday goes. We'll see.
See how Saturday. Oh, you're thinking of doing something?
Thinking of doing something.
What are you guys doing on? Or what platform?
Well, I'm thinking about starting a stream up that would be on Saturdays in the morning time. So
okay, cool.
It may be this weekend. It may not be till next week. We'll see.
All right, cool. Well, we'll keep our eyes open for that. Everybody in this chat has their details in the description on Facebook and YouTube. Below this video is all of the people's ways of contacting them, or at least seeing the stuff they build. Dave, I did fix your stuff. You asked for the few things to be changed, so I did that. And if anybody wants me to add something else, let me know. But yeah, if you want to reference anything, you can just go down there and find the links to everybody. So
cool.
All right.
Cool.
I'm gonna start hitting the end broadcast button, so we'll start saying goodbye. I'm physically hitting the button